Hello, hello, everybody. Chat, there it is. All right. Hello. All right. Look at this. Look at this. I have to put stuff on there from last time. Hello, everyone. Hello. I want to show you how we created this awesome. I guess I should get my really nice mat out. While we still have time. Look at how nice that is. That's so cute. I hate that right there. That is right in the front and aggravating me. No, it's just for show, but I'm going to cut it off anyway because it's aggravating. It's horrible. All right, so I made this centerpiece. We're staying on topic. This is a centerpiece that we have for our last wedding decor centerpiece. And so this time I am going to show you how to make an acrylic centerpiece. And I use the same floral head that I had been making all the other projects with. This is how you can just make a whole series of different centerpieces to have on the table. You can make 2 or 3 of this exact thing. But this time, this is what we are going to make right here. Probably would make a really good fan too if you wanted to pass them out. No, you don't want to use that as a fan. It's kind of heavy and thick, and it would be a really expensive fan if you decided to do that. And I just put a little stick in there. You don't have to do a popsicle stick. You could do a better stick than what I had. I just did the popsicle stick for just to show you how it would fit right inside of the floral foams that we've made. And you can have your dates and names on there. Okay. So what we're going to do this time is I purchased from Tumi or Team U. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I purchased these acrylic sheets. And the sheets came 10 in a package, and they were less than $5. Yes, 10 in a package, less than $5. I purchased these 10 sheets, and they come with a cover on the front and on the back. And they're actually very sturdy and thick. I'm not sure how many millimeters they are thick, but they're very nice. And these were, of course, made in China like everything else. So I purchased 10 of those. And what we're going to do to create this project is we're going to print out a slogan or a name to put on the front of our sheet. Now, what I did for mine is I just used my husband, our wedding date, and Always and Forever, which was one of our songs. And then, of course, our initial there and our names. You can do whatever design you want. It doesn't have to be exactly the same because it is your personal design. And I want to show you there are a couple things that I did to get this started. So let's go ahead. I'm going to capture my screen so that you can see what we're doing. And I will bring that up and show you how we'll do this here so that you can see point for point exactly how to do this project for yourself at home. Okay, so let's turn on our screen capture. There you go. You get a different view of everything. And pulling you in, you can see here that this is the design that I made prior. Now, what I also did was I measured the size of my acrylic sheet, right? And the acrylic sheet for me measured out at just under 7, and in width it measures out at just under 5. So it's like 5 and 15/16 and 7 and 15/16. So I'm going to go ahead and just make my whole thing, or 4 and 15/16. Yeah, just under 7. So it's 6 on this end and 5. Am I measuring that right? Yeah, 5 there. So I'm going to go ahead and make a 5 by 7 for my square border. The square border is just going to give me a base to center this by. So as we work on our project, we will know exactly how we want, or exactly how it would fit in on the acrylic square, or the acrylic in the acrylic piece of acrylic. Get it out, Sharon. Get it out. Okay. So 5 by 7, and I also made the lines show. So I went to my silhouette line style. I picked black so that the black border line would actually show in print. We will want that to show in print, and I'll show you why in just a few moments, but we do want that to show in print. And then I came in, and again, you can do whatever you want on for your letter. I chose B for our last name, but I'm going to go ahead and change this. Let me, I know what I'll do. I'll add a rose. Hi, Pepsi. How are you? I'm glad you're the first one in. So since you're the first one in, I'm going to make this for you. Tell me what initial you would like on here. We are making a centerpiece. I don't know if you can see this. Let me go back to my camera. I'll show you here. We're making a centerpiece, and I'm going to use you. So what kind of name would you like on here, as if we, and I'll ship this to you. So what name would you like to have on there? Put that right there so you can see. And while I'm waiting on, hey, Cassandra. While I am waiting on Pepsi to respond to me, I will go back to my screen capture, and we will undo this portion. And I'll just set this right here so you'll kind of have an idea of what we're looking at. And I will see what Pepsi would like to have on her sign, what she'd like it to say, and we'll make it. Or we could just add a rose. So we will wait just a few more minutes for you, my love, because I know there is a delay. And you tell me what you would like to have on this acrylic sign that we're making. Waiting, waiting, waiting. We also could, let me go in here and I'll pull up a rose too. Or we could do, I mean, it doesn't, we're doing a wedding series, so the thought in my mind is that it would be something that would be wedding-esque, but it doesn't have to be, since I'm going to give this to Pepsi. So if Pepsi has just a few more seconds, and then I'll move to Cassandra. Okay, can't think of, do your thing. Okay, I love it. I love it. I'm glad you responded. Okay, so we are going to, I am going to, do you like Disney? And or give me your first initial. How about that? Just give me your last initial, your last name initial, and then we'll put it on there. And there is a rose that I know that I think would be beautiful on here. So we're going to add this to it as well. Look at all my little designs that I have on here. Oh, you're a bee. That's great. That makes it easy. How can that makes it so easy. What a great pick. Okay, so we are going to put keep the B on here for Co-Pepsi, and then we're going to delete off the wedding date because I know she doesn't want my wedding date on here, but we are going to bring this little, we're going to bring in this little Disney lady because we want this rose on here. So we're going to take that. I'm going to steal this off of here, and then I'm going to go back into our design. And Co-Pepsi says she was a B, so that's great. We don't have to change anything other than designing it different. So I'm going to ungroup all of this stuff. And the reason that we're doing this is I just want to show you, again, we're doing wedding centerpieces, right? So I want to show you the all of the options that exist for you to be able to create a beautiful centerpiece. Somehow I got a rose that's stuck behind there. Oh, maybe that is supposed to be there. I got a little, I saw a heart that's behind here, and I don't want that there. I don't think it's supposed to be there. I think it got lost. Okay, so we're going to paste this, and we're going to move fast because I don't want to make this boring for you guys. We're going to get rid of always and forever because I'm sure she doesn't want that. And we're going to get rid of established November 19th, 2026. I am going to bring in my B. And because we're just going to do a letter for her with a rose, I'm going to get rid of, ungroup. Let's get rid of Tim and Sharon. I'm sure you don't want that floating around your space. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to add this. And let's find a different letter because this one is based on a monogram. So we're going to make it different for you all together, Co-Pepsi. And then I need you to email me your address so I can mail this to you. All right, we're going to make a B. And I'm going to find a pretty script font for you. Oh, I love that. Do you like that one? Tell me if you like that. And we're going to send it to the back. This is how easy this will be to make this for any event. Actually, you can do it for any event. It doesn't just have to be a wedding. All right, yes. I'm glad you like that. I'm going to turn the rose a little bit so we can see the rose. And I am going to take these pieces and weld them together so that they will be one unit and they all cut great together. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I am going to center it inside of our square. All right, perfect. Now, this is what the sign will look like, and I am going to do, here's why I wanted you to do this with the black outline. Remember I said that we're going to use this box as a black outline, and you want that there. You want it to show up when we print this out because we're getting ready to print a template for alignment. We want this to align on our paper correctly. So you will print it out on a black and white paper, any black and white printer that you have. And that's just so that we can get the alignment correct. I definitely want this to align properly for Co-Pepsi. And then I'm going to get rid of the border. And I am going to now send this to print on my vinyl. And I'm putting it on gold, but I guess since I'm sending it to you, is there a color that you would like me to print it? I have picked gold, but if you like a different color, I can change the color for you. What color would you like, my love? Gold is fine. Awesome. Thank you for being so flexible. I love it. I love it. All right, so here we go, you guys. We're going to send this to print. And we're going to print it on our vinyl. Our media is already in there and it's ready. And we're sending it in now. And of course, you guys know we'll hear this noise for a moment. So I'm going to come back at you while that's working. We don't need to do anything else on our screen. And so here is the template that I printed out, and I am just going to cut it along the black line so that I can line it up on the acrylic sheet. Okay, that is great. Well, no. Don't put your address in the chat. Yeah, don't do that because your address will be everywhere. Here's my email, vthenterprisesfw@gmail.com. Yeah, don't put your address. There you go, honey. If you need to leave, I understand. Don't put your address in the chat. vthenterprisesfw@gmail.com. There you go. Ooh, I thought about it. At first, I was going to say, okay, no problem. And then after I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, no, don't do that. All right. So here's our template that we're going to use to line this up. I remember I told you that it comes with a film on the front and the back to protect it from scratches. So we just remove the film on the front. I'm not removing the back yet. And then I'm going to place it, line it up with our, let's bring it in so you can see. I'm lining it up inside of the black lines on the front and the side. Just lining it up to make sure that we are centered on the paper. Then I'll use a piece of tape to keep it all together. And I'll tape the side. And now I will just lift that and fold it on and fold my tape onto itself. Okay. So now we're centered and our tape is not going to move. Our print is done. So we'll get our print. Our cut. I keep saying our print. Our vinyl is done. And we're going to cut off the excess because, hey, we can use these little bitty pieces. And we will save these. Just never know when you're going to need a small piece for something somewhere. All right. And I like to weed my pieces, my small pieces out first. And then go in and take my big pieces out. For some reason, for me, when I weed the small pieces last, they seem to move the vinyl, and I just like to do it this way. It makes it easier for me to weed them. And you can see I weed and then rub my finger. I get it up, I lift it up, and then rub my finger across it so that it sticks to the vinyl that's on my finger. And then I can get the rest of it comes off just by rolling my finger across it. That's the way I like to do it. I know everybody has their own style. Some people will do these smaller pieces with reverse weeding. That one didn't cut so well. Okay. Some people will do these smaller pieces with reverse weeding, which works as well. But I just like to do it this way. All right. Now I'm going to take this off my finger because I'm getting a fairly big amount and I don't want the sticky of the other to stick to my vinyl. And we'll take the other pieces off and start that process all over again. Just a few more pieces right there. Okay, I think we have everything weeded out of the small pieces. Now let's go ahead and weed the big piece part. It didn't cut so well along that corner right there. It's all right, we'll make it work. Okay, there's the bee. Hello, Glenda, how are you? That's fine. You can send it whenever, honey. I'm in no hurry. I'm just going to make sure that you get it. So don't worry. You're good. No rush, and do what you need to do. I said I was going to bless the first person that I saw come in today with this, so you are absolutely fine, sweetheart. Take your time. No hurry at all. Blessings should not be stressful. That's my frame of thought. Okay. So now we are going to take our Glenda. Hi. Did I say that? Hi. Hello, my love. Now we're going to take our, I got a big old roll of, what is this? Transfer tape. I've had this for like, oh my God, I probably had this big old roll of transfer tape for about 4 years now. It was even bigger than this. My mom had purchased it from Amazon to do one project. One project. And look at how much of that transfer tape exists. It's so great. I don't even know the name of it. It's just some generic transfer tape that she had bought. And it works phenomenally. Alright, we're going to put this down on our piece of vinyl. Smooth it out. Take our varnishing tool. Make sure that it's stuck down on there. And we're going to lift it up and cut a little bit away. Okay? The reason I do that is it gives us an opportunity to make sure that we get it centered well. So now that we have that piece off, we're going to come in, and I'm sorry, I hope my head doesn't block the view, but we're going to line it up with the black. See the B? This is why we did this template. And bringing it in. This is why we created this template. We're going to line this up with the, I'm going to stand up and do it so that I can see for sure without blocking you guys. Line it up as best as possible. Remember, you want to get it nice. It doesn't have to be perfect though, because it is man-made, so it won't be, it won't be like a machine line, like it was lined up on a machine, but it will be better than just freestyling it. And then varnish it down onto the acrylic sheet. Okay. Alright, so it did get off just a little bit there, but I think it'll be okay. And now we're going to roll our transfer tape up and off. And take your time taking the transfer tape off, especially if it's a newer sheet, because I like to take it off at an angle too. But if you take it off too fast or try to speed rush on it, it will lift the vinyl, and then that'll get bubbles underneath your vinyl, and it won't be as smooth as you would like it to be. So there is our vinyl. And there is our front sheet. And we can take this off. Okay. So that's what it looks like now. This is how it looks now. So I'll clean my space up as we go and get rid of some of this stuff out of the way. Alright, so we could absolutely stop right here and just make make this the centerpiece or the sign or whatever. Remember, I keep saying wedding centerpieces, but they can be used for anything. You can use them for anything. But I want to show you guys how to make the paint explosion on the back of it, so that you will have that. Coke Pepsi, if you're still there, what's your favorite color, my love? Alright, so while we're waiting on her to tell us what her favorite color is, we're going to continue. And you know I like to use an old mat or whatever I got sitting around. We're going to peel the protective cover off the back of this one. And we're going to come in with a little bit of Tack It glue. And I just want a thin amount of Tack It glue. And I'm using a thin brush, Because now I'm going to come in and we're going to lay our gold, our lines for our gold. And I'm going to do it down the sides instead of exactly like I did mine. And this will just show you how you can make it different. And you don't need this to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be, you want it to be kind of organic, if you would. And you don't want it to be super thick because it'll take a longer time to dry. So I'm going to run that down the side, and I'll just leave that little bit just like that. And put my brush into some water so that can dry, not ruin my brush. Okay, purple. Oh, I love purple too. I love purple too. So you're good. You're good. Purple is one of my favorite colors. All right, I am going to help accelerate the drying process on this. Even though I put a thin coat on it, I'm going to dry it. That's what it looks like from the front. Can you see that? That's just the tacky glue. We put a thin coat, and it is tacky. Now we're going to come in with a little bit of our gold embellishment flakes. You can use gold sheet. You can use gold crumbles. I've had success on this one using the gold crumble instead of having to crumble it up myself. Of course, it's just a sheet that they've already crumbled up. So you can use whatever you have at home. You don't, if you have this, you don't have to do anything special. I just know that this stuff is very airy and light, and it flies everywhere. So don't have anything that you don't want gold on down and around when you're working on this project, and make sure that you clean up afterwards fairly well, because this stuff gets everywhere and it sticks to you really good. Sticks to everything but what you want it to stick to sometimes. So we're going to let that set down and press on that. And I'm just taking off some of the excess and putting it back in the jar. Okay. And scraping the excess off and putting it, oh, look at there. I said put, and it just, the air off of me even saying put just sent it flying. This stuff is so light. So light and airy. Okay. All right, put that back in the jar. Now that's done. I'm going to give this a few seconds to sit in and press it down and sit on there while I get the purple paint. Hello, Lisa. How are you? All right, you guys, I got the purple paint because that's the color my girl said she likes. We're going to make it so she can like it and display it the way she likes. All right, I'm going to get a fairly rough brush. Look at that. That's purple too. A fairly rough brush. Hi, Sapphire. Is that how you say it? I got a fairly rough brush, and over the garbage can, I'm going to brush off the excess, this excess gold leaf. And I'm just brushing it off. I know you guys can't see me because it goes everywhere, but I'm just brushing off the excess. You see that? That's what it looks like from the front. Oh, that's going to be pretty. All right, that is what it looks like from the front. Now let me clean this up because I don't want this gold flake in anything else. And I don't want to scratch my front. That gold flaking stuff gets everywhere. Okay. So we have it down and edged off on the sides and off. That's what it looks like when you look at it from the front. I really like that. Now let's put some paint on the back. Now again, you can stop right here. You don't have to go any further if you don't want to. You can put a piece of vellum or anything across the back of it to make it look different. This is your creation, so you can design it the way that you want. But I'm going to go one step further and put a little I just noticed some sticky on there, so I want to clean that off. I'm going to go one step further and put the paint on the back because I think it helps you see the design a little bit more or a little better, like we did here. Okay, so see how that one looks? That's so pretty. This is so pretty. I'm almost wishing that I had taken this all the way up. What do you guys think? Should I take this gold on the side all the way up to the top? We would have to speak now or forever hold our peace, because if we don't do it now and we put the paint on it, it's not going to look right. And while I'm waiting on you guys to answer that, I am going to mix together the paint. Glenda said yes. Okay, Glenda, I saw your answer first, so I will do that. All right, let me get my brush back out. And it's only a little bit, so it won't take us much. But it's a speak now or forever hold your peace type situation, because once we move forward, it's going to be done. And we can just do a real thin piece of it here. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't have to be thick. In fact, the thinner it is, the easier it dries or quicker it dries. I am going to accelerate it though by putting a little heat gun on it. And then we'll just take some of these, look at these little pieces that were flying all over the place, and we'll add them to it. And I think I got some more little pieces that were, this stuff gets everywhere, so. And I'm just varnishing it in with my finger. That makes it work even better. Where's there another little piece? And this, if this isn't the epitome of cheap, look at me. I'm just digging out these little pieces that went here and there. If that's not the epitome of cheap, I don't know what is. All right. Oh, yeah, that looks so much better. I want to do it more, though, so I want it to be just a little heavier. It looks like I got a gap right there, so I don't want that gap. Let me take another small little piece and add to it so that that gap is gone. Maybe it didn't get enough glue there. Definitely don't want it to have a gap on just one area. You know what? Did I really? You guys, look at what I just did. That's the front of the darn thing. No wonder it looks different. Have mercy. If I didn't just do that to the front of the stupid thing, why y'all didn't tell me I was on the front? Let's take it off with a little rubbing alcohol. Why y'all didn't tell your girl that she was doing it to the front of the project? That is crazy. I always say every week, tell me what I'm going to say. Y'all know what I'm going to say. Y'all know exactly what I am getting ready to say. If it didn't happen on live, it's not real crafty. Oh my God. Okay, I got it off of there. Let's flip it over. That is hilarious. I did that right on the front of there. Why y'all didn't tell me? I'm depending on y'all, sis. I'm depending on y'all. Okay, here we go. Now let's get this on this back. I cannot believe I did that. Well, I mean, I can. I can believe I did it. It ain't like I can, but that's crazy. I would put it on y'all, though. I can't believe y'all didn't tell me. Y'all supposed to be watching this. What? Oh, my God. I put that right on the front. But I did that so you guys could see how easy it is to clean it up if you make a mistake. Oh, let me dry this real quick. I did that so you could see how easy it is to clean it up if you make a mistake. That is so crazy. And I hunted out all those pieces of this stuff out of the can right here next to me, and I still did something stupid. That is funny to me. I'm laughing at myself. Have mercy. Have mercy, Jesus. All right. All right. Now we got it. We got it going on now, y'all. We got it going on. I'm varnishing it in with my finger. And I'm sticking it down in the right side this time. As I showed us. I had to do it that way to show you how to clean it up. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, that's how it looks. Now that looks fabulous. All right, let's go back and clean this up again. I'm still laughing at myself. Lisa, you see that? Did you see your friend? All right, I got it varnished in. This gold flake stuff gets everywhere. And I'm just trying to clean it up because I don't want it to get painted on here. All right. Sweet. Now, this is the front. This is the back. And we're going to mix together our colors. Purple is the favorite color, so we're going to give Cold Pepsi a little bit of purple. And you guys know I love this metallic paint. I put a little bit of dark purple in there. I'm putting a little bit of this opaque matte purple with it because it dries faster. And I'm also going to put in a little bit, not a whole lot, a little bit of this chalk paint because chalk paint helps things dry a little faster as well. I don't want a whole lot of it because I don't want it to change my purple tone too much. So I'm just adding a little bit. The key to adding this, or the key to painting these, is that you want a thick amount of paint on it so that it will have a smooth back. And once you paint, you don't want to keep messing with it because you don't want your brush strokes to show. Right? Thank you, Lisa. I love you. You are so good to me. And Sapphire says she was so into it she didn't even notice it. Me either, Sapphire. Me either. I didn't notice it either. Look at that. I'm making a mess already. Okay, hold on, you guys, because I just spilled that all over me. I don't want to get that anywhere. I'm having a crafter's heaven right now. Crafter's heaven. Look at that. Got purple paint all over me now. Okay. So we're going to mix this in. And we are going to have it's going to be a purple and white. And we're just going to brush our strokes. And we're going to just carry them and let them splash. They don't have to be perfect. And just a really light hand to paint it on the back. And let it lift off. Really light. Now, I do want it to show up a little darker than that. Since it's a pretty purple. It's such a pretty color. I want it to show up a little bit darker. Yeah, I love this metallic paint. So I'm just going to run it across again. Really light strokes. And this again, you can make it however you want because it's your project. It is paint, so if you decide that it's somewhere that you don't like it, you can let it dry. You can come in and scrape a little bit off in different places, or you can use a little bit of 100% alcohol. I would not use, I would not recommend using fingernail polish remover because it could, what's the word I'm looking for? Fog or cloud up the acrylic. Right? It could cause the acrylic to get foggy. So I wouldn't recommend using nail polish remover, but I definitely would say you can get away with using alcohol as you just saw me do. And I know, where are my gloves, Lisa? I know every time I start painting, after I start make a mess, and I remember I should have got my gloves. So you can do it that way as well too, if you get it in places that you don't want. Okay. So that is exactly how you would create this little sign. And I am going to lay this down and we're going to accelerate the dry process and see if we can do another coat on the back of it of our paint. So here we go with the heat gun again. All right, it's still a little damp. You can still see that it has some shine to it, which tells us it's still a little damp in places, but it is better for us to we can turn around and actually look at it. That's so cool to me. I absolutely think that is so cool. In fact, you could do multiple colors if you wanted to. You could do a little bit of purple. You could do a little bit of red. You could do however, I mean, it's your design. You can do whatever colors you want to it. But I just think that that is so cool. That is so cool. And let me think about this. I'm going to think about being real extra. But before I mess up Cold Pepsi's, I'm going to try it on this one. Let's see what happens. I'm taking my Deco Art pen. This just came to my mind. Let's see what happens if we add. You can't see it yet. Hold on. Give me an idea. Let's see. Nope, that doesn't really work because the gold shine part is on the front of it and not the back of it. So yeah, that's where the shiny is, and you can't really see the shiny through there. So yep, that doesn't really work. I should have put that down before if that's something that I wanted to do. Oh well, I tried it on my sample. Yeah, that doesn't really work. Okay, so we're not going to mess that up. All right, how y'all doing? Y'all okay? We're into this process. Cold Pepsi, this is so cute. It's just going to be your little name. If you want to email me later when you do, tell me your first name and I'll put it on the bottom of here. And then I'll send it to you. That way it won't be all over social media. That's cool. All right, I'm just doing a second layer, trying to hit the same spots, but definitely in the center because I want the center to be thicker and smoother. With less lines in it. All right. One more time to accelerate the drying process. If you were doing this for multiple tables, you can let them dry naturally, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it. I'm going to put this out on my, get that paint out of my brush. Let's kind of give you an idea, too, of what multiple colors look like. Oh, look at that. Shut up. It's a happy little discovery, just trying to get that out. Look at that, you guys. Just trying to get the paint out of my brush. But that's what I was meaning when I say you could do multiple colors. You can make it however you want to make it. These little acrylic pieces that I ordered off of Timu, they were less than $5 for 10. And you can get them off of Amazon, off of any place that sells crafting items. You can usually find them. I'm biding my time trying to let that air dry just for a moment. Okay, now let's go ahead and accelerate my drying process one more time. And then, oh Lord, don't let that get on the front of there. It did. I got to clean that off. Accelerate my drying process one more time. It is not quite dry, so I'm going to still be very careful with it. But I did know I got a little bit on the front here. And this is how you can get it off. Just, if you can either scrape it off, it comes off really easy, so you want to be careful with it. Or I'm using this baby wipe, and I'm just wiping the little paint that got around on the front off of it. Right? Okay. Alright, and I still touched the paint and got it on the back of my hand. Don't mess that up, Sharon Tucker. I almost was going to touch it. I want it to be right because I'm gifting this. So it can't be, I don't want it to be half cocked. Alright. So that's what it looks like. And now there are two options of what we can do. For the base, we could either use a pick like I have here. I'm going to put this over to the side and let it dry a little bit more. On this one, I put a little popsicle stick on it, and I can just stick it right into the base of the floral foam that we've been using for all of our centerpiece flowers. And there it is. Let me bring this out. That's how it can look. Right? And you just set it on your table for your guests, just like that. And then the back, you want it to be smoother than that. You can put another sheet of vinyl or something across the back if you wanted to, so that it won't be a bad looking back for those guests that are sitting on that side. But you absolutely could put two of them back to back so that they can see it from each side. But that's exactly what it would look like. And I think if I were to do this, I would be putting two of them back to back so you can see the front just as well as the back. You guys know I like my backs to look beautiful as well as the front. Or you could come along with some wood blocks, and you can paint them the color of your design. And I had primed these whites. And you can use these to make a stand for it. So we're going to take our wood blocks, and I'm going to paint the color edges first, and then I'll paint the top. Don't need to paint the bottom because it's going to be on the design itself. So we'll just use our wood block to paint them. And then we'll just hot glue these to our little creation. All right. And just make us some little bitty stands. You need two because you need one on the front and one on the back so that it doesn't fall forward and it doesn't fall backwards. Does that make sense? You want it to stand up, you don't want it to fall forward, and you don't want it to fall backwards. Lisa, how's your granddaughter doing now that she's a graduate? How's she feeling? Out and about in the world now as a graduate. I'm wiping up this excess paint because I know I'll get myself into it if I don't. Alright, so this is still drying. Oh, it's pretty much dry other than that one spot that I messed up. Alright, so we're going to let this finish drying, and I'm going to accelerate these so you guys can see them. We only have a few more minutes. Alright, I touched that one and I put too much heat on it and it started to pucker. Alright, that's alright though. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue these to our sign. I'm going to put this one that started to puckle a little bit in the back. And I'm going to put it, let me show you what I'm doing. Let me get this out of the way. I am laying it, I'm sitting it on the bottom and sticking the back of it to it so that I know exactly where, let's get it even too, so that I know that my sign is flat and not up too high, not too low. And I'm putting this, I'm going to glue this evenly onto it. So I'm going to put a little hot glue onto this portion of it. Take up my sign. Try to get it even. I'm lining it up with my mat here, or with this thing on the mat, and trying to get it in the center of there and glue it to it. Okay. So that's how it would be but I need to put one on the front because I don't want it to just be, if I put it on just the back, then it'll tip forward. See that? Because it's not at an angle. So for protection, we're going to put one little block on the front as well. And we're going to put this block lined up exactly with the back of it. And then we can gold leaf these or bling them out or do something to them to add beautification so they're just not wood blocks looking like they're sticking out. And I'm just balancing these together and pressing and holding, making sure that they're flat so they don't rock. And there's her sign. And of course, if this was for a wedding, you could put whatever date, whatever items you wanted on there. And we're going to be real extra right now. And we're going to put a little bit of gold flaking around the bottom here. So we're going to take some paint, or I'm sorry, we're going to take my brush, and we're just going to put on some of this tack it glue, then coat so that it can dry fast. And I'm going to do the back too, especially where I puckered the paint at. There's that. And then we'll bring in a little bit of our gold flaking again, you guys. Let's accelerate the little dry heat. This little thing is working to... Oh, don't let that get heat on it. Alright. Let's bring this back in. We are almost done, you guys. This is gonna... I'm just being real extra right now. This stuff is amazingly light. I'm just being real extra. I'm putting it on real heavy on the front and the sides, and I'm going to brush that off naturally. Take the excess and put it on here as well. Okay. Use my coater brush for the... Alright, I use my finger and I'll just rub it in on the back. Make that really extra looking. And rub it off. Oh, that's cool. Look at that, you guys. And we'll do the same for the front. I'll just use my finger and rub it in. Get that excess off of there. I think I kind of like the back piece better than I do the front piece. I put more on the front than I did on the back, but it still goes together well. And just burnish it in with your finger. That helps rub it off some too. Alright, my loves. There it is. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Let me get my hands cleaned up and then I'll switch the camera like we always do so you guys can see it from the front. Oh, she's resting good. Okay. I bet she is, and it sounds like she deserves it with her scores and everything. It sounds like she worked really hard throughout her career, school career there, so good for her. Alright, I have gold flakes everywhere. I do like the back better than I like the front piece, but it is what it is at this point. And so, I'm going to switch the camera so you guys can see it head on, and you'll get an idea of what it looks like. Now it's purple, but it looks blue in this camera. And I've got some cleanup work that I need to do, but I want that to dry before I wipe it down. But there you have it. It is purple, even though it looks blue in the camera. Look at how cool that is, you guys. I'll go back down to this camera. There's the purple. You can create this look any way you want. It's so universal. I love how that looks, how that gold flaking turned out down the side. It has textures in it that you can't really see. But when we put the tacky glue, I kind of whipped it. And so it has a little whipping to that as well. Let me see if I turn this camera off, if it will. If you'll be able to see it. Oh, nope, wrong camera. There we go. Can you see that? It is absolutely a cool and fun way that you can add a really easy centerpiece to anything, actually. A graduation, a graduation party, any kind of event that you want to have a custom personal centerpiece, you absolutely can do this. And these actually would, if you were going to create this for someone else, say you wanted to, these would ship really easy. Like these would ship so easy, and all the person would need to do on their own is glue the or stick the base on it to hold it down. So there she is. And when Cold Pepsi emails me her address, I will ship this baby to her, and it will be hers. And let me show you this too. It's so easy to take these blocks off. All you have to do is pull them off. Like on this right here, all I have to do is just break the seal of the hot glue, and I can make it a different way. I can turn it into something else. So even though I put these on here, I'm going to be able to take them off and send it to Cold Pepsi as a flat card. And then I'll include the little stands, and she can just hot glue them on because she watched the video, Cold Pepsi. You watch the video and you know how to do it. I think it's beautiful. They turned out, I kind of like this with, I mean, each one is unique in its own. I love that how when we did that purple behind it, it added just a whole different dimension to this as well. And then this with the gold leafing just down the side and the beautiful little rose. That's so cool. So that is what we have for today, my loves. Oh, and by the way, let's see if Cold Pepsi, if you were going to do this and you wanted to spruce it up, all you have to do is not put the base on it. You put it inside of your floral pick, and that's how it would look there. Universal centerpieces that you can do, but since this month's theme was wedding centerpieces, there you have it. Next month I'll try to come up with a new theme, or we might do a whole bunch of paper party favors. We could carry it forward, and I can show you how to do party favors for your table if you were going to be decorating for our weddings, right? It's wedding season. You got to talk about love is in the air. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Cold Pepsi, don't forget to email me, bthenterprisesfw@gmail.com, and I will mail this to you because you were the first person to log on today. bthenterprisesfw@gmail.com. gmail.com. Because you were the first visitor today, honey, this is a gift to you using your colors and your information. I love you guys so much. It's 2:03. Let's get some work done. I will see y'all in the next video. And until then, guess what? Stay classy. See you next time. Bye-bye.